Hello, everyone. This is Ed. Welcome to the show. Now, Renee's out of town, so it's only going to be me today. Today in the show is Yemen, it's Brexit, and also we have a recording of our roast battle where I crush Renee and roast her to oblivion. So stay around till the end for that. So, yeah, let's start the show.
Hello, skipper. Hello, navigator. Half a minute to go. Okay.
Let there be no more wars or bloodshed between Arabs and Israelis.
I am most influential leader in Africa, in the continent. I have got a very good brain.
That with this policy, we are going directly to the hell.
Hi everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy holidays. Hey, how's it going? This is Baboon Yodel. This is Ed, your host. Welcome to the show. We are, I think, on episode 25. It's good to talk to you again. It's been, we're coming in a day late, but it's okay. We've been celebrating Christmas and it has been fantastic. Now, I'll be running in solo today for you because Renee Church doesn't really care about you anymore. She has gone and left you. Nah, she's just having a family holiday time and she's out of the city. She's in Hawke's Bay in New Zealand and having fun with her family. Now, from what I understand, they're having a Mexican-themed Christmas. I'm not sure how that works, Mexican-themed Christmas. I don't know what they will be doing. Or will there be racist and talk in accents? Or they'll just have a mixture of Mexican and South American food and just enjoy each other's company. You never know. It can be anything that is happening. How did you guys spend your Christmas? Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, then what did you do? Just let us know how it all went. Because I am Ed, and everybody knows that I'm kind of a Muslim, you know. So people always ask me that, hey Ed, how do you celebrate? Do you celebrate Christmas? I said, well, I celebrate it. I celebrate all holidays. I celebrate everything. It gives me a day off. I don't have to work. It gives me a excuse to cook food and eat. It gives me an excuse to meet friends and be merry. So why not celebrate anything which is that? You know, there's a few people who says, oh, you can't celebrate Christmas because it's the pagan blah 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 blah. Well, even if it was, it's okay. It's good to enjoy and have fun. Everybody should enjoy and have fun, meet their families and be happy. So how did I spend it? You ask, you don't ask, but I'll tell you anyway. We had nothing really planned, but then one of my partner's friend, my girlfriend's friend, invited us to a Christmas lunch to their place. Now, it was an Indian family, so the Christmas lunch had a regular mixture of pork, which is usually not a common Indian staple or a Pakistani staple on the table, but it had a ham, you know, glazed with honey and all the sweet stuff that is supposed to be glazed with, and tandoori chicken and pakoras and spring rolls and dal and chawal is rice. So it was a great day. Really enjoyed it. However, I did not like the dog that they had, these people. Their dog was somewhat nasty in the sense that it smelled a lot. It went outside and just pooped everywhere. See, my problem is that, okay, you can have pets. Pets are nice to have in the house. They are happy. They make you feel important because they try and love you. They do love you all the time. But it's the constant seeking. It's just constant. they just seek attention all the time. They'll be just clawing on you, wanting to play and play and play, and they smell like shit. They want to play, and then you don't want to say no because then you don't want to be a person who's cruel to animals. I'm never gonna have a pet. I might have a cat. I only want a pet which does not ask me anything. It does not want me to do anything for them. I just feed them, keep them alive, and they are happy that they're in my house, that they are not being killed by other animals outside. So like a bird. No, the birds need to fly. It's very cruel to have a bird in the house. Like a fish or an endangered turtle, who might get killed outside but will be happy in a tank here in my house. Yeah, I think so. A turtle might be good. Like Rocky. I think we should all have pets who might be going extinct because outside they might be killed, but inside they might not be killed. So it's all cool. Now, what else did I do? Then we came home and that's it. Watch TV. Watched so many of the Christmas movies. I watched Love Actually. Watched It's a Wonderful Life. That's a good movie as well. And have you guys seen It's a Wonderful Life? It's the movie with James Stewart. He's an old actor, very good actor, one of my favorites. He did a whole he goes through life. He sacrifices everything for the people in the town, and then he kind of want to try to kill himself. Then an angel comes and saves him, and then kind of shows him how the town will be without him, and shows him how useful he was for the town. And then he says, no, you don't want to kill yourself. You're going to come back and go back into town. So it was a kind of a nice message. It's a good movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time for Christmas. So yeah, that was my Christmas. Now New Year's is coming. I've got nothing really planned. There's something that my girlfriend has locked me into. There is some sort of bullshit Bollywood night that is happening. We might go to. I don't know what the fuck is this. But we'll go and be happy and be merry. So what do we do in this show when Renee is not around? Because I'm mumbling and babbling and rambling. You guys don't want to hear me just mumble and humble and bumble and ramble. So let's get into it. What happened this year? 2018 was a year which was good for a lot of people and bad for a lot of people. Now, a lot of people you would see on YouTube and all the other channels said, oh, what a shitty year. It was a shitty year. Well, it was shit for them, not for everyone else in the world. And when people say it was a good year, it was good for them and not for everyone else in the world. For instance, it was not a good year for Yemen. Yemen did not have a good time this year. It was a very bad time for Yemen this year. So then making a YouTube saying it was such a great year might not be the correct way to say it. So how did Yemen go? We haven't covered Yemen too much in our stories. I'll tell you some things about Yemen. Now, Yemen, in a shortcut, the situation is such that it's like two brothers trying to live together in one house, but kind of not being able to find a way to live in one house. They keep fighting each other. They want to kill each other all the time. And then the neighbors are getting involved because neighbors really want to get involved and take over the country or take over the house as well. So that's a very layman, stupid way to explain it, because I'm a layman and a stupid man. Anyway, oh shit. Okay, it's fine. So, what happened? What is happening? So North and South, they had a fight. North and South Yemen, they have been fighting to stay united, ironically, for years and years and years. Then what happens is that there's this rebel group that develops, which is a Shia group and they start to take over and start fighting, and they start to take over the place. Now, when the Shia start to take over the place, Saudi Arabia is usually not happy, because Saudi Arabia is Sunni, Wahhabi, whatever you want to call it. They kind of always feel uncomfortable when a Shia power starts to erupt within the Middle East. So they say, oh, well, we got to get in there and try to quell the rebellion, which is the Houthis. Houthis are the Shia rebels that I was talking about. They want to try and get in and kill them. Why? Because they blame Iran. What? Why is Iran in this situation? Well, Iran is in this situation because Iran is a Shia country. Now, nobody knows exactly if they are supporting the Houthi rebels in Saudi Arabia. Yes, no, I don't know. But Saudi Arabia has an excuse to jump in and bomb the shit out of Yemen. Now, they are bombing the shit out of Yemen. What's been happening in this, they're not bombing the shit out of the rebel places. They're bombing the shit out of the ports and the hospitals and the weddings and everything else. So what that does, that shuts down all the routes from where the food is coming. Because Yemen is a desert. Yemen needs food to be imported from different places. So the food's not coming. People can't go far away, travel far away to get food to feed their children. So there's famine. And millions of people are suffering from my assessment, they are currently suffering from famine. So, a very, light subject for Christmas time. But you gotta know, I gotta tell you, we haven't been able to talk about it because we've been talking about stupid shit all the time. This is something important, so I thought I'll put it out there. So, stay close to Yemen. Think about it while you are spending your Christmas time, because they're not having a good time, and they just are being bombarded by Saudi Arabia. And, well, recently they've been kind of a ceasefire, but usually those ceasefires don't really work, because what happens is that all the parties just go to Switzerland. I don't understand how these ceasefires work. Every time a ceasefire is called, everybody who actually wants to get out of the country to live in a different country, they're invited to go to Switzerland or Sweden or Germany, to a nice, beautiful place to discuss the bad situation within that country. I do not understand how that works, because you're out of the situation. You can't assess actually what is the problem happening. You have a meeting for 20 days, and there's a whole situation of who's coming, who's not coming. And then there's a food situation. You have catering and blah, 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 blah. Just to talk about peace. I don't know. It's just these peace talks don't really... I always find them funny, because they are always in Switzerland or Sweden or the snowy place. Always a snowy place. So, yeah. Yemen. We're talking about Yemen. Now, Houthi rebels, so that's the gist of it. North-South, forever trying to fight, trying to stay together, but having difficulty staying together. I can mention the UK, Britain, who kind of made things shitty with colonization. Well, but I'm not going to get into too much of that details right now, because it's not a history podcast, it's kind of current affairs podcast. So this year, Yemen went deeper into shit. And yeah, let's see how 2019 shapes up for Yemen. Now, Yemen is Demen. What's a bad pun? Yemen is done. What else? What else was big? What else was big this year? Let me tell you. Brexit is happening, right? Brexit is happening. They're still talking about Brexit. Now, what everybody knows about Brexit. Do you guys know any details about Brexit? Let me put it down in layman's terms. Because you are layman, I am layman, everybody's layman, Johnny Layman. So with Brexit, a few years back, David Cameron, the then Prime Minister of United Kingdom, decided to get elected to promise to have a referendum, which was a stupid idea, around getting out of Europe. Britain getting out of Europe. Now, Britain has been a part of a economic and a political and a social community which is called the European Union, which was started right after the German got their shit kicked in the World War II, and later on all Europeans wanted to work together. They created the European Economic Community, and then that later transformed into European Union. Now, the British don't really want to be in the European Union. They've never been wanting to be in it, but they've always been in it and wanting to be getting out of it. And they were not really in it as well. They were not following the free migration thing for everyone. They were not part of the Schengen agreement, and they kept their own currency. The biggest thing that European Union had was the euro. The European currency. Now, so Brexit, right? David Cameron, he says, okay, everybody's getting angry, especially the right-wing people, and he needs the right-wing vote to get elected. So he promises a referendum for his election, and everybody says, fine, great, we'll vote for you. And he does get elected. And then, stupidly, not like all other politicians who usually ignore what is being promised in their campaigns, he decides, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do a referendum. Right. So he does a referendum. Now, a referendum was a stupid thing to do because getting out of European Union is a complicated thing, because it involves trade agreements, it involves migration agreements, it involves all the money that goes in and goes out, and all the loans that the Britain takes, and all the transfer of goods that happens through the European Union. It's a difficult thing. When you ask the people make the decision emotionally solely on migration and how they are economically affected by migration. So what happens then is that people vote according to one aspect of the whole European Union, but you would have to, if the referendum goes the leave way, you would have to leave not just the migration part of it. You're going to have to leave the whole European Union. That's the case. That was a question that was put out. Now, stupidly. Big campaign. I don't know. You guys must have followed it. They did it and shit happened. And then the UK or the British people decided that they will leave the European Union. Didn't work. I was trying to do like a whole syllable thing. Shit. Anyway. So I'm not going to harp on about it too much, but yeah, that was it. Now, then the process started for 2 years. They need to get out, and there was a whole thing. They're trying to get out. There was a whole political turmoil. I'm not going to get into Britain. Now they have a prime minister called Theresa May, who is trying to find a deal for Brexit so that they can get out cleanly. They're not getting out. The deal she's getting, everybody's saying that it's not a good deal. The parliament doesn't like her. Her own party people don't really like her. But she's banging on. She's going through. It's one of those things that's going to happen or not happen, but it's going to happen. We don't know. So, yeah, the decision has to be made within a month, I think. And then the leave part, they have to leave the European Union by the mid of 2019. I'm not exactly sure, but that's going to happen. But they have to reach the deal as soon as possible. Otherwise, things will get real. Things will get really, really real. All right. That was Brexit. That's what happened. Yemen happened. Brexit is going to happen. Those are the two big things. I mean, I can talk about Donald Trump, but nobody wants to talk about Donald Trump. You will find that information. Just Google him. He's everywhere. Follow his Twitter account. You will find what he's trying to say. I'm not going to really get into Donald Trump. Now, what else do we talk about? Okay. things that have been happening. Stupid things that have been happening. Stupid, stupid, stupid things. So, in the US, what happened? There is an airport and somebody is just chilling with their guide dog or their support dog, just chilling and having a sign on that, don't pet the dog. And then some lady comes in, she wants to pet the dog or she wants her daughter to pet the dog, but the person who owns the dog says, fuck no, don't touch the dog because the dog's in training and they are trying to learn new things and we don't want them being pecked. Now, the lady who came with the daughter lost her mind and she started complaining about this whole situation. She started complaining that, oh, well, you should have a sign on it that you can't pet it. And the person says, are you crazy? There's huge signs on them says, do not pet the dog. So it says, do not pet the dog. Don't get crazy about it. So you've seen those people in videos who go crazy about, oh, I have the right to do this and I have the right. No, you don't have the right to do any of that. You can't touch the dog because the dog's there to help the other person. They are in training. So you don't go around petting other people's dogs. The same way you don't go around touching others' kids. You don't go and go blah, 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 another kid. When you see it, you just look at it, smile at it, and then look away because you don't want to be weird. You don't want to be awkward, right? So that was one of the things. I don't know why people feel entitled to complain. They said it's their dog. They said no. Oh, you accept it and you walk away. Why would you? For instance, if I was sitting in an airport and I had for instance, I don't know, I have a stuffed toy, even if a stuffed toy, I had a stuffed toy and somebody comes in and says, can I touch your stuffed toy? No, it's weird. Don't touch my stuffed toy. It's my stuffed toy. Somebody gave it to me and it's mine and it's got my germs. So it keeps with me, stays with me. You can't touch it. And the other person gets angry. Oh, well, I can't do. I'm allowed. I have the right to do this, and you should tell everyone. Blah, blah. No, don't touch the dog. Go home. Just relax. Go drink a kale juice, right? Don't really come and bother us. All right, yeah, that was all right. People kind of feel entitled to this shit. Don't be entitled to touch other people's dogs when they don't want you to touch them, right? What else? Yeah. Okay. Now, one thing we forgot to talk about. One thing we really forgot to talk about. Saudi Arabia shenanigans. Saudi Arabia has been naughty the whole year, haven't they? They've been trying to be nice, but they are just putting up this thing that they are nice. They are not that really nice. So, what Saudi Arabians been doing? Saudi Arabia started allowing people or women to drive. Yay! Woo! Big thing. Great. Fantastic. But that was just kind of a ruse of the things that happens in the background. And now, okay, let me track back a little bit. Okay, what happened was that there's a dissident from Saudi Arabia who was close to the main royal family. His name is Jamal Khashoggi. Now, Jamal Khashoggi got murdered inside the Saudi embassy in Turkey. What happens before he goes in? He plans a thing out with the Saudi embassy saying that I will go in the embassy, and he wanted to finalize some kind of marriage paper because he wanted to marry the love of his life at that time. And I think maybe he was trying to finalize the divorce from another person who lived in Saudi Arabia or anything. Something was happening and he had to go to the embassy to finalize the paperwork. The embassy said, fine, come in. It's going to be okay. It's in Turkey. Come on. What are we going to do? You're a dissident. You're gone. Now, Jamal Khashoggi is a big critic of the Mohammed bin Salman. He's one of the... he's the crown prince in line to take from Salman, who's the king. So he's the crown prince, and he's just waiting in line for dad to die, and then he's gonna be the king. And he wants to rule everything. Now, Jamal Khashoggi, he's been complaining about Saudi Arabia for years now, and he writes for the Washington Post. He comes on Al Jazeera, talks about it. He's a really good writer. He's a good journalist, great journalist, fantastic guy, all round sweet, sweet man, fantastic. He loves flowers. He was great, right? Living in exile. He goes there, goes inside the embassy, and then gets disappeared. He disappears, and the videos he disappears, and then the wife or the partner at that time is standing outside and gets a little bit worried and starts to complain and starts trying to find what the hell happened. You went inside, you didn't come out. It's not Narnia. It's not Narnia. It's even in Narnia, you go in the cupboard and you come out. With Saudi Arabia, you don't. Khashoggi went in and did not come out. So moving forward, things went crazy. The Turkish intelligentsia started saying that it was a murder inside, and then this thing went on. They said it's a murder. Saudi Arabia said, "Oh no, it's not a murder. He left." Then he said, "No, he got into a fight." Then he said, "Yes, it was a murder. It was a fight, and we killed him." "Oh no, we didn't kill him." Oh, and that has been happening for a while, and nobody has claimed full responsibility yet for it, because Turkey keeps claiming that they have some proof about the murder, and it hasn't been released, and this whole thing is kind of in a limbo. Even CIA, they collaborated with Turkey and find out that actually it is kind of Saudi fault that the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he murdered Jamal Khashoggi. But Donald Trump said, "Well, we got deals. We got a thing going with, we got a thing happening with Saudi Arabia. Well, we can't really, it's just a murder. It's okay. What's a murder between dictators? It's a murder. It's okay." So nothing has been happening. It's been a murder, and so it is kind of a bad thing to happen, because it kind of shows that, dictators and despots can do anything they want and nobody will question them. Even America, who used to be who kind of is the moral police or anything, that people don't really believe that. But, they should have said something. But Donald Trump is there, and he didn't want to break relations. So that is the situation. The world is going crazy about the fact that Saudi Arabia kind of have killed that dude in their own embassy, and nobody's questioning it. Only you can see it in the news in Al Jazeera, that they keep harping about it, because the journalists, they care about journalism, but nobody else. And the news is kind of going to frazzle and frizzle and jizzle and pizzle and shittle away. Nobody will care about it, and he's dead, and nobody would know about the murder. So it's a sad thing. Sad thing. Let's brighten it up. Let me sing you a song. Lovely, when you're coming home, a dick is in the toilet and I'm peeing just the way you look tonight. How's that? Right. That's good. Okay. Now there's other things that are happening that I don't know if you want to hear it, but kind of I don't know what did you think of me just babbling for about half an hour? You got Brexit, you got Yemen, you got everything else. So it's been a good podcast, good episode. I'm kind of proud of it, but I don't know how it sounds. You can tell me if it sounded shit, if I was crap. If I was crap, just sign me a letter or send me a letter. Don't sign me a letter, So yeah, this has been the year. So many things happened, and some of the things I can't say all of them. A lot of things happened in New Zealand as well. We had a Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Everybody loves her. We love her. I love her. And then there's Baby, and politics in New Zealand is so good. Everybody keeps complaining about it, but I don't really complain about it because it's so mild as compared to other things. People kill each other for political purposes in different countries. Here, you just record their phone call. That's it. That's all you do. So yeah, New Zealand, next year we'll be doing so many different things. We might get into more important topics and try to satirize them. Today it wasn't that satirized because I had to give you a background. It might not have been that funny, but you know a little bit about it. Google these issues and you'll find out. Now, it's kind of an end of the thing. Good that you've called. Happy Christmas. We love you. And Renee will be back, so the whole podcast will be better again. I had to put something out so that you guys don't get left behind. But I gotta leave behind something. Me and Renee, we love each other. It's great. We're good friends. But we did participate in roast battle. Now I have a recording of the roast battle, and I will put it in the podcast next. So you should understand the fact that this is not actually it's a roast thing. So everything is on. So she's being racist, I've been sexist. It's roast, we're just battling each other. Everything is allowed, okay? So some background for it. Renee is kind of going out with one of the producers, in-house romance, Angel Jordan, and I made some jokes relating to that Angel Jordan because he's a friend as well. So yeah, that will be attached to the episode right after the episode. So yeah, look for it and hear it. Have fun. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel about the roast. I kicked Renee's ass. She lost. I won. I'm the greatest roaster of Baboon Yodel. Right? Okay, fine. It's about to finish. Follow us on YouTube. We are there. Subscribe to the channel. Instagram. Twitter. What else is there? I don't know. Facebook. We're all there. Baboon Yodel. Go email us baboonyodel@gmail.com. Let us know, how was your year? How did you spend your Christmas? Let us know, what do you want us to do in the new year? So we'll be back soon. Okay, love you. Bye. Lick you, kiss you. Bye. Bye. Roast Bell.
Beginning already. No, these two are actually very close friends. They do a podcast together called Baboon Yodel, so they know each other's deep, dark secrets. All right, which one of you would like to go first? Renee, you come first.
Speak English?
Renee will go first, please.
I normally do.
No, she comes first, and me if I'm lucky. All right, guys, we're fucking ready for this? Yes, come on, make some noise! Bring them out! Battle! 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 Let's roast!
So, Ida, when you went to the hairdresser, did you ask to look like a paedophile that's been on the run for 20 years, or was it just a happy accident?
At least I'm not used by a pedophile as an excuse for a girlfriend. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's switch to that one. There you go.
All right. Thank you, albino chipmunk. Renee, you're as tall as Danny DeVito, and you're as sexy and feminine as Danny DeVito. Now Renee's so small that she still has her baby teeth. Her adult teeth have been waiting for so long that they've all died of boredom.
I keep them in the jar and then Angel jacks off to them. Works for us. No, Ed's Muslim and he had an arranged marriage lined up, but she's decided to stay in Pakistan because she would rather be tied to a grenade than be tied to him.
Ginger snap.
I'm delicious.
People ask if the upstairs matches the downstairs. It's true. Renee's vagina is dry and covered in acne.
Slower than he delivers his own rates on it, so. But that actually wasn't my roast. Here we go. No, he's been living here for 7 years. He can stay in New Zealand though, because that's the great thing about roofies is that you get older, but the women don't move you the next day.
Thank you, Chucky from Rugrats, who's dying of AIDS. Renee's pussy is very big. It's like this room, dark, wet, long, and filled with shitty comedians.
Yeah, he's a patient zero for autism, so. What else I got? Edamon, he looks like the kind of guy who would go to the video store and ask the video store clerk where the porn section is instead of just like looking around for it. Yeah. It's time to separate the boys from the mandeeps.
Thank you, Ron Weasley, who survived the Holocaust. You always say that you dress like how two surrogate lesbians will dress their child. In actual fact, you dress like how Bert and Ernie dress their dog.
Do you have one more joke?
One more.
Okay. Oh, okay. So look here, Ed. Ed's got the face of a terrorist and the fashion sense of a 9/11 denier. You can buy it at Kmart anytime you want. That was it. You can go.
Thank you, Emma Stone, who was left out in the sun for a very long time.
Are you Emma Stone?
And so Renee, I forgive you. Your ancestors fought my country, but now Angel Jordan fucks you, so that's punishment enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, make it loud. What the fuck was that? It was fucking jihad versus jihad, I guess. This looks like an interracial porn is about to go down. All right, judges, what did you think? JK, judge my girlfriend like she judges me.
Well, I'm glad to see someone found Madeline McCain. 10 points for Savage, 10 points for Funny. I think you definitely won the creativity there, but I think I'm going to have to give this one to the shortest person in the room. I'm so proud you found someone shorter.
Whoa. All right, 1 point to Renee Church, my lovely lady. Notorious KG. What did you think?
I think firstly Ed does need to deliver his jokes a bit faster. Right, I'm gonna go. Jesus Christ. Do I owe you guys money or something?
You.
Holy, oh Jesus Christ. Right, I'll give it to Ed. I like this comebacks at the end.
1 point each, Ed, and 1 to Renee. Holy fuck. Alright guys, well we're gonna have to do a tiebreaker, and I think it's up to you guys to decide. Can you do that? Yeah. Alright guys, close your eyes. Let's do it blind.
I don't like it when you play this game at home.
Just turn around.
No, fucking just close your eyes. Alright guys, alright, you make some noise only for the person who you thought won this battle, who you thought was funniest, alright? Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought this person was the funniest, raise the noise. And if you thought this person was the funniest. Each other. That's weird. They did a reenactment of how Renee and I have sex. That was very
Sex.
Getting late tonight. All right, guys. Fucking.
Shake my hand like that. It's good.